Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Hari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Givaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Givaradhari Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yashodana Yamunadira Vanajari Yamunadira Yamunadira Vanajari Yamunadira Vanajari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Danandana Prajajana Ranjana Yamunadira Vanajari Yamunadira Vanajari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Srila Gurudeva Gurudeva Srila Gurudeva जय श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर की जय जय श्री गौर निताय की जय जय श्री पंच तत्व की जय श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंह स्वामी की जय जय श्री वृंदावन सद्गोस्वामी की जय Jai Shri Guru Parambara ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Bhagavatam 9th canto irukku Prabhuji. Yes, here, sorry. Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanantimirandasya Jnananjanachalakaya Chakshurunvinitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Sthapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Tadati Swapakantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sakarana Raghunatha Vitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saharana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dilabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Shri Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha kalpatarupyascha kripa sintyupa evacha patitanam papanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we will be reading from the 9th canto, chapter 14, text 44 and 45. So we'll start with the sloka. Sthālī-sthānaṁ gato śvatthaṁ śamī-garbhaṁ vilakṣya tena deve araṇī kṛtvā urvaśī-loka-kāmyayā urvaśīṁ mantrato dhyāyann adharāraṇim uttarām ātmānam ubhayor madhye yata tat prajananaṁ prabhu.
sthālī-sthānaṁ gato śvatthaṁ śamī-garbhaṁ vilakṣya kṛtvā urvaśī-loka-kāmyayā urvaśīṁ mantrato dhyāyann adharāraṇim uttarām ātmānam ubhayor madhye tat prajananaṁ prabhu.
Anyone wants to read from Google Meet? No problem. We'll go for word by word translation. Sthālī-sthānaṁ. Please repeat after me. The place where Agnisthālī was left. Gataḥ. Going there. Aśvattham. An aśvatha tree. śamī-garbhaṁ. Produced from the womb of the śamī tree. Vilakṣya. Seeing. Saha. He. pururava,
Purava,
tena, tena,
tena,
from that,
from that,
dve,
dve,
two,
two,
araṇī,
araṇī,
piece of wood required for igniting a fire for sacrifice,
pieces of wood required for igniting a fire for sacrifice.
kṛtvā,
Kṛtvā,
making,
making.
urvaśī-loka-kāmyayā,
urvaśī-loka-kāmyayā,
desiring to go to the planet where Urvashi was present.
desiring to go to the planet where Urvaśī was present.
Urvaśīṁ,
Urvaśīṁ,
urvaṣī,
urvaśī,
mantrato,
mantrato,
by lower,
by chanting the
by chanting the required mantra. Adhyayam, dhyāyann,
dhyāyann,
meditating upon.
meditating upon.
Adhara, lower.
Lower.
araṇīm,
araṇīm,
arni wood.
araṇīm.
Uttaram,
uttarām,
the upper one.
the upper one.
ātmānam,
ātmānam,
himself.
himself.
ubhayor, madhye,
ubhayor, madhye,
in between the two.
in between the two.
Yatat,
Yatat,
in which he meditated upon.
in which he meditated upon.
prajananaṁ,
Rajanam,
as a son.
as a son.
prabhuḥ,
Prabhu,
the king.
the king.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. When the process of fruitive yajna became manifested within his heart, King Pururava went to the same spot where he had left Agnisthālī. There he saw that from the womb of the śamī tree, an aśvatthā tree has grown. He then took a piece of wood from that tree and made it into two araṇīs. Desiring to go to the planet where Urvashi resided, he chanted the mantras, meditating upon the lower araṇī as Urvashi and the upper one as himself, and the piece of wood between them as his son. In this way, he began to ignite a fire. Purport. The Vedic fire for performing yajna was not ignited with ordinary matches or similar devices. Rather, the Vedic sacrificial fire was ignited by the araṇīs, or two sacred pieces of wood, which produced fire by friction with the third. Such a fire is necessary for the performance of yajna. If successful, a yajna will fulfill the desire of his performer. Thus, Pururava took advantage of the process of yajna to fulfill his lusty desires. He thought of the lower araṇī as Urvashi, the upper one as himself, and the middle one as his son. A relevant Vedic mantra quoted herein by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura is śamī-garbhaṁ mantra. A similarly mantra is urvaśīṁ, urasī purvaha. Pururava wanted to have children continuously by the womb of Urvashi. His only ambition was to have sex life with Urvashi and thereby get a son. In other words, he had so much lust in his heart that even while performing yajna, he thought of Urvashi instead of thinking the master of yajna, Yagneshwara, Lord Vishnu. Hare Krishna. So today, in this context, we see when we grow a tree in a paddy field, in a paddy field, or just a paddy, when you grow, there is other unwanted weeds which come up with the particular main tree, right? So in paddy, we also have some unwanted twigs which is coming just around the paddy twigs. Usually the farmers, what they do when they want to cultivate a good yield out of it, they pluck off the unwanted weeds from the actual main plant, right? Similarly, here in this case, how in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna took out all the conclusion of all the confusions of Arjuna while in the battlefield. He plucked the different unwanted desires of Arjuna, like how can I kill my family member? How can I kill my grandfather? How can I kill my future children? So these are the unwanted twigs which Krishna plucked from Arjuna's mind and consciousness. Similarly, in here, Sukadev Goswami is trying to pluck one of a weed from whom?
Yes. Parikshit Maharaj.
Parikshit Maharaj, who's representing us. Correct. So, what is this twig? Is the twig of lust. So, whenever we wanted to progress in spiritual life, there'll be some unwanted desires for us, and one of the major desire is lust. Here, Sukadev Goswami gives a story of King Pururava and the story of Urvashi. So, previous class, what we saw is by hearing of the gloriousness of Pururava, Urvashi wanted to enjoy a life with the king. Similarly, Pururava, just seeing the appearance of Urvashi, he wanted to have a good sex life with her. This is how the story goes, and the Gandharvas wanted to take Urvashi back because Indra thought without Urvashi, his court is like just a barren land. There's no fun happening here and around. So Gandharvas took the lamps which Urvashi brought it from her while she was coming to this world, and since Pururava couldn't protect that particular lamp, Urvashi got so angry that even she chastised King Pururava. You are as a during the day you become a hero, and during the night you become a woman. So like that, he chastises Pururava king, and also we see that Pururava he goes all the way to Gandharvas to fight and get the lamp back. But despite getting the lamp back, when he comes back to his home, he couldn't see Urvasi. Seeing that, he felt baffled, right? So he because he wanted to have an affection towards her, and that particular physical appearance is not there, he gets very much attached towards it, and that attachment is giving him grief. He started to travel all over the world, and in one instance, I think in the banks, he could see Urvasi, and there Urvasi is saying the conversation, say, you are a mighty king, just don't lose your life for the sake of me, like, and that's how it is. And she disappears, and in this chapter he is again going to what is that Mataji called as, okay, he going back to araṇī.
Agnisthālī.
Agnisthālī, yes, Agnisthālī. He's going back to the forest where he left Agnisthālī, right? And there he could see one uh, instances where he could see Agni, like Angi wood, thinking of the upper part as himself, the lower part as Urvasi, and the middle part as his son, and he ignites his fire. So this is where we saw in Bhagavatam, right? So with respect to this, there is two instances Prabhupada is trying to quote us here. Okay, one is the desire of a man and the sacrifice, how he used a spiritual thing for a material comfort. Right. So attraction of male and female in today's world is actually the perverted reflection of what we see in Golok. The eternal love between Radha and Krishna is the perverted reflection what we see in today's world in this particular Bhuloka, right? So how is we know where is the origin is from? The lust is again coming from, I won't say lust. The love is again coming from Krishna's expansion, right? So when Krishna expanded, he also expands as a jiva. So we have Paramatma within ourselves, right? When the Paramatma leaves our body, this body is called as it. Before, when the soul is inside the body, we are called as he, she. He did this, she ate this, he did my duties, he got a good job, he's a doctor, she's a engineer, right? But when the moment the soul leaves the body, it becomes it. Take it away. That's how powerful it is, right? So Krishna also expands as a jivatma, as a jiva in this particular world. So here it is quoted that there are two kinds of jivas. One is eternally liberated. So what are the eternally? And the other one is eternally valiant, called as Nityapadas. Who are we?
Jivas.
jivas or nitya padas, which means we are eternally balanced, accustomed to illusions. Okay, so the eternally liberated person or the jiva, they always live with Krishna and relish his pastimes in the spiritual world. Okay, and the other hand, there is us nityapadas, right? Nityapada, what we do, we try to now by the glories of acharyas, we try to also release the same pastimes of Krishna, but in fact, it is we cannot see Krishna in person and taste that nectar in this of what the other jivas are doing, the previous planet, right? So we are using that attraction towards the opposite gender of us and trying to enjoy the eternal relationship of what Radha and Krishna is doing, right? So that is what we, the Nitya Padas, are trying to imitate. And where is this happiness? It is going to deplete. It's just a happiness of a second or a moment. Bhagavatam says this happiness is like an itching. When you have itching in your hand, you try to rub, right? So when you rub, you get a pleasure. So that is the pleasure of this lustful desires, is what Srimad Bhagavatam is also saying. Now we know that this is a perverted reflection of the spiritual planet, right? So how this gives two differences, two results, I would say. One, Srimad Bhagavatam says Bhaktim Paralabhyayat, which means it says those who have faith and listen to the pastimes of Krishna are freed from the lust. So devotees or upcoming devotees or a person who just says Hare Krishna one time with pure heart is a devotee, who try to understand or who sits in a bhajan thinking of Lord Krishna, his he is freed from the lustful desires. You can see a live example whenever we have kirtan in our class or whenever we go to any temple for some kirtan. Do you actually think of any problems in your life? No, we just dance in ecstasy. We chant loudly. I don't know. There is one example from ISKCON Chennai. There was this Prabhu who lost everything in his life. His wife was in a cancer state. Prabhu's wife passed away. He had two sons. He had two children, twins. One is Mataji. She got married and she had her own marital life. And there is also his son who went to the States and he settled there. But what happens to this Prabhuji? There is no like a family for him, but he's just on his own for himself. He said to me once, the topmost happiness which he found is happiness on Nama Sankirtana. So he's also Shiksha Guru for many of the people in Krishna Katha Desh. His Holiness his Grace Bharata Giraj Prabhu. So such is the ecstasy of one can get from the name of Krishna himself. Correct? So here we can say few points where in this chapter Prabhupada says first thing is yajna. While completing the arti, we say what we say: Maha yajna sankirtana yajna ki chai. Right? We say Maha yajna sankirtana yajna ki chai. So in this Kali Yuga, the Maha Yajna, whatever sacrifice we do, is the chanting of the holy name. Right? And also here, if you take the story of this Pururava king, he could ignite and fire between the twigs of the wood just by imagination. Such powerful is also the mind. Okay. So first point what we can get from today is material enjoyment is temporary and deceptive. Since it is a perverted reflection of the universal planet of Goloka, this action is very temporary, right? For example, what we can say happiness as. What is happiness to you?
Where there is no distress.
Where there is no distress. Okay. So anyone wants to say what is happiness to you in Google Meet? What is happiness for you? Getting a good stable job, getting good Lakshmi is happiness.
Listen to a lecture.
Haribol. Haribol. Mataji, you're always in the spiritual platform. Yes, Rasarani Mataji. Tell me, what is what is happiness to you?
Shopping, Prabhuji.
Shopping.
Too much of shopping.
Yes, for females it can also be a shopping, right? But it is said in Shastras that happiness is in this today's world is the interval between two miseries. So interval, the end of one misery to the start of another misery, you'll have an interval period, right? So that is called happiness. Right? For example, there is one example which we can correlate with. In olden days, especially in the Middle East region, how they give punishments towards the prisoners. Today we have a court, we have a jail, and a prisoner go to that particular state, and the judge gives the statement or something, the judgment, and he puts into jail. But previously, how the prisoner is treated is his hands will be folded back, and there will be a barrel of water in a barrel. Okay. So what the ministry guys will do is they'll catch his head and they'll immerse his head inside the water of the barrel. So what happens? He's fully into the water. There he'll start to suffer. Oh my God, I wanted to breathe, or I will die. Oh my God, I wanted to breathe. Just put me out. And when he thinks that, what those guys will do is they'll pull his head out, and in a fraction of a second, he will have a breath of air. And again, what? The same cycle. Again, they'll put inside the water, and again, he starts to suffer. So now for the prisoner, what is happiness?
Breathing.
Breathing is his happiness. But as an outsider, when you think, right, it is a temporary happiness. Right? Similarly, the material enjoyment which we find here is always temporary, like the prisoner. We wanted to we are suffering in this world like the prisoner who's into the water, but we wanted to seek a good house, we wanted to seek a good companion, we wanted to create a wealthy atmosphere, and what is that is just a temporary happiness, right? Similarly here, what Pururava does is he becomes very mad and he wants to enjoy this life with Urvaśī, that just because of not seeing her makes him go illusioned, makes him go mad. He travels the world looking for her, searching for her, without drinking a water, without doing anything. He's starting to look Urvaśī all over the world. But what it is, it's like again the prisoner in the water, right? He's having a very temporary happiness. Second point, what we can take out of here is attachment to women or sense pleasure binds our soul. The more we get attracted towards a woman or sense pleasure, it's going to bind us further in this world, and also to bind us in the process of very very powerful problem in our life, which is the very very most powerful problem in our life as per Bhagavad Gita. Janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha doshanu darshanam. Exactly. So this is going to bind us again in the cycle of birth and death. How do we can how we can compare to this is, in India we have a glue called super glue, Fevistick, right, Prabhu? Fevistick. That is a very 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 catchy glue, right? There is also a Feviquick stick and also the Fevistick glue. So Feviquick is like we just put a normal thing, and if you just put your hand, you can take your hand easily. But there is also a super glue. If you just put a pinch of it in your hand, and if you stick to some one particular surface, you can't take your hand out of it. And here we can take an analogy. The more you get attachment towards one particular object or one particular sense gratification, the more you're applying a glue towards your hand. And what is the result? First of all, when you apply a super glue to your hand will get, heat. It will generate heat. It will ignite heat, and it will, when you stick towards your hand, it's going to stick you to that particular surface. And when you take it out, it's your skin actually coming out of your hand. So that much powerful the glue is. If you take an example of males, especially, our childhood dream is to get a PlayStation, PS5 or something that we can just keep on gaming today. Even today, trend for the males is like there'll be a woman who will be buying a PS5 for a guy, and this guy will be laughing like a small child and stuff. So that is an attachment for a guys towards a normal object, which is binding him, closing his eyes towards one particular screen and making him realize false happiness. What is for the girls or for the women? When I had a conversation this with my wife, she said jewelry. For women, jewelry is one of a most wanted criteria, right? And you see that gold rate today is actually hiking like somehow. We can't now even look into gold and buy something. So the price is so much. But for women, the craving for gold is so much. They wanted to acquire more and more of gold and get attached towards it. But the background is you have to work, toil more harder to get it back. And what is out of it? You get a temporary happiness. And even the best part is, I had this conversation with my wife. She said, like, I wanted to buy a gold, and my father somehow bought it for me. But the moment I saw this a good necklace in some other's body, the happiness of buying, that gold and putting it over me just left away in a few seconds. And I asked my father, no, I don't want this. I want another one more gold, which is of that lady, who's wearing it. So again, the happiness has just lost just by seeing the other person who's wearing even more great an ornament. Right. So here, what we can take as the attachment is, it's a vicious cycle. When you get attracted to one thing, you wanted to desire to achieve it. You get a strong desire to achieve it. You wanted to get a good money. You wanted to become a billionaire. You do many things legally or illegally to achieve it. So you have a strong desire. If you have a strong desire, what are you going to do? You do actions towards it. You get your karma. Whether good karma, you do good activities, you get good karma. Whether you do bad activities to get your money, you get a bad karma. But you get karma out of it. And when you do so much of karma, what is the result? More bonding, more rahanuga. You get bonded to that particular object or that particular consciousness even more, and you get more bondage to this material world. Example, Jada Bharata. At the final stage, what he thought, how can this deer live without me? How can it feed for itself? And next janma, what he got? The janma of a deer. So such is the strong attachment of him towards this particular deer. So also we can take the example of a moth. Moth, right? Moth is also kind of butterfly, right? So what it does is it finds attraction towards light, right? So in the rural areas, if you see, especially, you can see moth which is which wanted more attraction, and it goes towards the light, the fire, especially, right? The more it goes, it feels happiness. I'm enjoying the fire, I'm enjoying the light. But what it does is it doesn't comes back, it goes even further, so that it wants to enjoy even more. But what comes out of it is it dies out of the pangs which it wants to achieve it. Similarly, we all run for money. We all run for our own sense gratification desires, and what we lose is the time invested on this particular human body, and we make nothing out of it. And that is just a temporary happiness. The third point what we can take from today's class is real happiness lies beyond body and mind. So happiness is temporary. Then what is real bliss? Bliss is not temporary, right? Satchit Ananda Vigraha. The soul's propensity is it's Satchit Ananda. It is eternal, it is knowledgeable, and it is or ever blissful. Prabhupada didn't say ever happy. Prabhupada said ever blissful. So where can we get this blissfulness is, when you think away from your bodily concept of life. For example, you know the story of Dhruva Maharaj, right? Dhruva Maharaj wanted to just have a place beside his father. His father was a royal king, right? He wants to have a just place beside his father, and he wants to. I think he doesn't also want to become a king. He just wanted to sit in a father's lap. He went to the forest, meditated upon Krishna, and in Bhagavatam, 4th chapter, 9th canto, 10th text, he sees Krishna and it says Smayam Hirato, which means he got Dhruva-loka for himself. Right? So Dhruva Maharaj actually says to Krishna that I hankered for a significant lustful desire sitting in my father's lap, but what I got out of it is a very insignificant desire or a very insignificant thing that I got you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. He was very happy, right? And what is the result of the bliss is, it also says when we come one step, the Lord comes 10 steps down, right? Krishna just didn't. Lord Vishnu doesn't left Dhruva Maharaj just as such. He didn't say Dhruva Maharaj, okay, Dhruva, start meditating upon my form, just become a devotee. No. What Krishna gave Dhruva Maharaj?
Planet.
Yes. What is the planet name?
Dhruva-loka.
Dhruva-loka. It has more Aishwaryas. It has more Aishwaryas than Krishna's planet himself. Dhruva Maharaj can enjoy that much kind of Aishwaryas. And Lord gave just like that to Dhruva Maharaj. He anchored for lap in his father's feet, but instead he got kingdoms of jewelry and kingdoms of planet for him to enjoy. Right? On the other hand, you can also see another good story of the mighty king Indra. Indra, because of his lustful desires with many other women's, Narada Muni and Brahma cursed him together. What is the curse? You become a pig in a farmer's field. And what did Indra did? He was happy. He had multiple wives. He had children. He had grandchildren. He was so happily living in the shitty waters. Actually the water is considered as this excreta coming from the human waste. That's where the pigs enjoy their happiness. He was enjoying his happiness over that being a pig in a farmer's field. And then it came the time where he has to go back to Indraloka and be the king of the demigods. Right? And what he said? No, I'm happy here. Guys, come on. See, look at my children. Look at my grandchildren. Look at my wives. How can I leave my wives and come? Oh, Brahma, oh, Narada, I can't leave my wives. That's what he was saying. Right? And finally, Narada Muni pulled him like, no, you have to come now to the Deva-loka. Otherwise, there'll be even more demons coming up and there won't be any people to guide. So come on, Indra. And when Indra came out and he took his celestial body, he could see how cheaply his happiness was. Right. This is similarly the case as for us. We are hankering for something which we wanted to get bigger, but factually it is like the happiness of the pig of how Indra did. Hmm? Krishna says, "A Brahma Bhuvala-loka." In all, from the lower planetary system to the Brahma Loka, every creation is going to go the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. One such example also we can say as a happiness out of bodily consumption is also a story of Alarnath. You know the story of Alarnath? Okay. Alarnath is a place which is 5 to 8 kilometers from Puri. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I think when he was visiting South India and when he came back to Puri, he wants to take the darshan of Lord Jagannath. And that time it was Sthanayatra, and Jagannath is like he's sick. The doors are closed, right? Mahaprabhu, he felt devastated and he was like, see, I'm such a sinful person. Even the most merciful form of Krishna, who's Jagannath himself, couldn't give his darshan on me, and how sinful I am. So it's now time for me to leave my body. And he runs to the ocean shore. Mahaprabhu runs all the way to the ocean to give up his body. But then there is a voice from the Akashvani. It says, come to Alarnath, and as a Alarnath deity, I will be giving darshan to you. So today also, if you go to Alarnath during the Rath Yatra time, it is considered that Jagannath gives darshan to his devotees by the form of Alarnath. Now there is one pastime of this Alarnath deity. So what is the significance of this Alarnath deities? The story goes, before there was a Brahmana who is serving this deity called Alarnath. Right? This Brahmana used to do a daily offering towards Lord Alarnath, who is a four-handed Vishnu form. So he also has a Balak son who also sees what his father does. So once he could see his father doing Mangalarti to Lord Alarnath, he could see his mother making garlands for Lord Alarnath Dev, and he could see people singing the glories of Alarnath Ji in his home, and he was witnessing the every thing which people are doing to Lord Alarnath deities. But he couldn't see one thing. What he couldn't see is his father in a banana leaf. He takes the bog of the deities closed. He goes to the altar of Lord Alarnath. He closes the door. He chants mantra. He can hear the mantra of Namo Brahmanaya Devaya Krobronaya Jagaditaya Krishna Govindaya Namo Namah. He could hear the offerings of the boga to the Lord, but he doesn't know whether the Lord is taking the food or not. But his father comes and says, yes, Alarnath has eaten the bog. Now it's time for us to honor the prasad. So as a little boy, what he thought, oh, okay, it is the deities who's eating. See, my deities can eat food. That was his assumption, and that was his thought, not assumption. That was he was thinking, right? Hare Krishna, Prabhu. And there was one time where his father has to go out of town for work, and this time his father said, "Okay, son, I'm leaving for work. It's now the responsibility of you to offer the bog to Lord Alarnath. You know the mantras, right?" He said, yes, yes, father, I know everything. I can do bog offering to the Lord. So this boy, what he did again, he started doing Mangalarati. He started to chant the glories of Alarnath, do all the daily duties, and then his mom is making garlands to Alarnath, saying the boy to put it, and he just goes there and he takes a stool, goes above and places the garland on Alarnath, and now it's time for bhog. Again, what happens is his mother says, the bhog will be covered. You go there, keep it in a raised platform, open the bhog, and Lord Alanat has to eat. He said, okay, mom, I know father is being doing this. Let me do the same situation. And he takes the bhog, goes inside. Alana deities closes the door and he puts a lock above and he sits down and he starts to chant the offerings, opening the cover of the bhog. And he chanted, and he opened his eyes. Lord is just staying as such. He's just giving darshan like this. Like there's one hand, and he's also having two hands, and he's also giving a darshan like this. There is also Bhu Devi and Sri Devi at the bottom of him, and he's just standing. And this child got suspicious. Krishna, when my father is offering, you took the prasad. Why not if I offer, you are not taking it up? That is what he was actually worried of. At one point he started to cry, please Alarnath, if you don't have this prasad by yourself, definitely my parents will beat me. Please take this prasad. And you know what? Alarnath deities, who is a 400 Vishnu form, actually sat beside the balak and he started to take prasad. He started to eat prasad. Little bit of rice, little bit of sweet, little bit of kheer. The deities himself started to eat the prasad physically. And he was happy. And after the deities ate the prasad, what he did, he took off the latch from the door, opened the curtain, again closed the bhog, which is which is nothing there because Lord already ate. And he came to his mom and he just went off. And his mom asked, where is the food? And he said, Ma, deity said, Alarnath deity Bhagavan, he ate the food. His mother was like, are you really serious? Yes, mom, I'm serious. It's deity who I said the mantras. The deity came up, he took the sweet from it and he was eating, and there was water dripping out from his cheeks. It was really good. And yeah, he again wiped his and he wiped his cheeks, and he's again in the 400 Vishnu form, now as a statue. He's explaining to his mom, and his mom is suspicious. I don't believe this guy. And she started to do this on a daily basis until his father comes away from work. And every day in the morning, he could see that the bhog, the full plated bhog, what she's making, the little boy is going there, closing his doors, and while opening and coming back and giving it to his mom, there's nothing in that plate of offering. So now it's the father who came from work. He comes to his house and he's asking his wife, is the deities okay? Did our son take care of the deities in a good manner? And then she narrated what happened. She said, everything is fine, but this guy, he's going there and eating the prasad for himself. And he's saying that Lord ate and he's coming back to me with nothing. What can we do? Your son is eating there in front of the Lord. So just take care of it. At the moment he hears this, he's calling his son, dear guy, come here. And he says, yes, Papa, how can I help you? That was really happy. I was really happy in these days. And he says, did you eat? Did you eat the prasad, or did you eat the bhog offered to the Lord? No, I didn't eat. It is Krishna whom he himself, after I say the sloka, I opened my eyes, Krishna started to sit. He made a good plate. He washed like this. His hands, he took the rice made of the normal other cereals, and then he took a sweet. While he's taking his sweet, the sweet dipped out of his side lips, and he even wiped his cheeks. And after the bhog, he went again. He started to give darshan like a statue. He's there. And his father started to beat him, and he was like, "How dare you say lies towards me? How dare you say lies towards me?" And he started to cry, and he said, "No, it is the deity who did it." And this time, his father wanted to actually see if this is really happening or not. So he wants to test the guy. So what he does is, the next day He does the Mangalarti. His wife creates the garland. The Brahmana, he goes there and puts the garland on his neck. Everything is fine. And this time, who offers the bhog? Is this little boy, right? And where the father is, he's already inside the altar. So this time, his wife, he makes a very hot kheer made of milk in a very hot situation. You can see the steaming coming out of that particular kheer or the liquid, a sweet liquid. And the boy goes there, as usual, closes the door, put the latches above, started to sing Om Namo Brahmaya Devaya Ko Brahmaya Jagadita Krishna Govindaya Namo Namaha. He starts to sing. And guess what? Again, Aladnath deities who are like this, 400 Vishnu forms. So two hands above, two hands like this, one hand having a disc. Aladnath deity started to take the remnants of the boy which he offered. And when it was the time for the Lord who took the kheer, the Brahmana from back, he caught the Lord like this. So just because he caught the Lord catching the hot milk, it went on his body, the body and his hands. Okay. So whenever we put something hot in our hands, we'll have this burning sensation and we'll have black patches in our body and all over our chest, right? Similarly, the deities got this kind of wound. And this Brahmana is saying, "Oh Krishna, since my childhood, I'm also doing the same sloka. I'm chanting the same sloka towards you. I'm waking you up. Not even one thing I have missed. But why not for me? You gave this darshan, but for my son you gave. What is the difference?" And Dhalana deity said, his love is costless. His love is pure. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktaya prayachati. Bhaktaya is the ingredient here, right? He did out of love. Yeah, initially it was his mom. He would be beating him because the deities didn't eat, but naturally he developed a love towards the Lord. A love so that if Krishna eats, he's happy. See, that's what even in this class we wanted to say. Whenever we see happiness which is not for ourselves, for example, when we give a food to the people who are outside, who are homeless, we get happiness out of it, right? It's not the money or the food which we eat for ourselves, but when we serve or when we help others, we get happiness out of it. Similarly, this Brahma gets self-realized and he said, "Yes, I'm so sorry for this, and now on my son will do the arti for him." And every time it is the Alanath deities who eats the bhog, even today. So what happens even today in Puri, Orissa, and it's just which is 5 kilometers away from Puri, which is Alanath temple, you can see the deity still having a patch in his body. The milk which felt on his chest, there'll be patches on his body. Others, every body will be clear like a crystal, but the places where the hot milk went on his chest have patches and a kind of sore kind of thing towards the deities. And also in his hands, you can see the deities is like is rusted or something like that. It's very sore kind of, so not shining as such. So that is the pastime of how the love is. And now Mahaprabhu, he couldn't see Jagannath in Puri because the door is closed because of Sanyatra. And then he rushes all the way to Alarnath temple and he sees Lord Alarnath smiling in a very good sense. And he just finished his bhog and he could sense Jagannath there. And he could feel so much of happiness, so much of bliss, so much of ecstasy that he fell unconscious state. He fell in such a state and the happiness was so immense that even there is heat, internal heat which came from his body, and because of that heat a stone got melted. Here you can see Pururava. He did a sacrifice of heat, when he did Agni sacrifice, right? Sacrifice by putting Agni. So Agni Deva comes in. That's also a heat. But what he used that for is to get a lusty desire from Urvaśī. that I want to get this celestial woman. I want to enjoy a sex life with her. I want her to be my eternal companion. I want to have children with her. That's what he used to sacrifice here. But here, the Lord himself, he used sacrifice, which means he used the love of the heat of love to see Krishna himself, which is as a deity of Alarnath. And what came out of it? Even the stone, which is the hardest of the material, is melted. That is the heat of love also is. And today also, if you go to the temple of Alarnath, you can see Alarnath ji having the patches, and above, just towards the right hand side, you can see the exact stone even today where Mahaprabhu fell in his feet, and you can see the stone which has been carved, like when Mahaprabhu felt like he felt like this, so you can see his face in prints in the Shila. I won't say rock now because Mahaprabhu came inside there, so I would say Shila. And you can see his handprints printed in that Shila today, and also you can see his elbow, knees, which has been printed in that stone. So such is the happiness which we get when we think that we don't want to enjoy for our body and our mind. So that will be the happiness. And so I would also like to conclude that, when we put sunglasses, we put different colors of sunglasses. Some put yellow color glass, some put green color glass, some put both yellow and green combination. I still remember I put a rainbow color sunglass, right? So depending on what you wear, you see the outside world. So person who wear a yellow color sunglass see world outside as in yellow color, predominantly. A person who wears a green color sunglass and he looks at the world, he gets that kind of vision, right? So here what I wanted to say is, like, let's not wear any color glasses. Let's wear our actual glasses where we can see the Supreme Lord himself in whatever activities we do. So this doesn't mean that we have to stop working, we have to stop getting Lakshmi, and we have to go to forest, meditate. No. This means the money which we get out of it should be used in the service of Krishna. Once there was an instance where Srila Prabhupada was watching a podcast. There, a millionaire was just lavishly spending his money. And Srila Prabhupada was saying, give me the money, give me the money. And he's looking at the TV and he's just saying, give me the money, give me the money. I'll use it for Krishna's service. I wanted to print more and more of books. That's what Prabhupada also requested for, and he wants to have this kind of relishment, right? So whatever we do in today's activity or everyday's life, let's link it with Krishna. When it comes to Krishna Sambandha, it is always it is always something which won't give you any karma, right? So if you do good deeds, you get good karma. You go to higher planets, you enjoy worldly pleasures, and then your good karma is out. Some person from the higher planets will kick you to Bhuloka again. Again, you have to take birth, go through different miseries, whatnot. Okay, so let's elevate ourselves, and whatever practice which we do, let's keep Krishna within us. So from here, I would like to conclude my class. Any questions, Prabhuji? Any questions? People in Zoom? Sorry, people in Google Meet? Okay, I would like to thank people who helped me to prepare for this class. I know certain things which we discussed, I couldn't have the time to explain furthermore. Thank you so much for this. And if I have offended in any way, please forgive me, and please bless me to say more and more about Krishna and Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarupyascha kripa sandhyupaeva cha paditana papanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Happiness.